All right. Take three. I've shut down the computer. I've restarted it. See how you react now. Computer better be reacting better. Ugh. Stupid Windows updates. I think I got Windows screwed. Oh my gosh. I think it's gonna behave. Knock on wood. I'm glad I got a wooden desk here. I'm gonna fucking knock the shit out of all of this wood here that it's gonna stay running. Holy cow, sorry about all of the shenanigans, people. Not the way I wanted to start this, guys. Sorry. Of course, no rest for the wicked. Like all of a sudden, a Windows update appeared out of nowhere in my little tab here, and as soon as that happened, as soon as that popped up in my this is not my computer. This is it trying to connect outward. 100%. Because like I got less than 20% CPU utilization here. Behave now. Just needed to fucking reset itself like 100 times and reconnect. They just like disconnected and reconnected like 5 times. I'm like afraid to keep going with this if it's gonna keep on buffering. I'm really sorry about this, guys. I'm gonna let it roll my intro. Let's see if it can survive rolling my intro. Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what is going on? What up? Let's see if my oh man, it is so buffering. Still buffering. Oh my lord. I don't even know what to say. This is what it's trying to output out. It just disconnected and reconnected. OBS did. Holy cow. I wonder if there's an issue. Hold on here. Let's see here. I don't even know what to say. I've got like not like man, this is the weirdest thing. Well, looks like it's running good for the time being. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna have to cancel this one for tonight. Sorry about this, guys. Like, everyone's having issues today. I didn't have any issues this morning. It's only been this afternoon. Bedell, is other people having issues streaming also? Yes. Oh shit. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, at least I know it's not a me. I'm thankful that it's okay. I'm not going crazy. Very few streams today. Yeah, I might be one of them that's canceling out right here. This is like my third attempt trying to get this going, and it's still not going. I cannot get this to stay connected. This is crazy. It's still probably you. Thanks for the vote of Shuby. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I know it's always my problem. It's always my fault. You know, first world problems. Is it gonna? Holy cow! Literally, OBS is like disconnecting from this and then reconnecting. That's how bad this is buffering. Crapcast internet. Hey, it's better than the alternative. Get AT&T. Ugh. That is insane. I'm going to check to see here. Let's see here. I got gigabit speed over here. Let's see here. Yeah, and according to them, everything looks good. My ass. Let's see here. Well, it looks like doesn't look like it's buffering badly now. Nice, nice, yeah. Well, it looks like it seems to have just cleared up. Looks like you just need to grin and bear it right through the beginning of that, and then it starts to work. I'll try to roll with this, guys. Nope. As soon as I say it, it's like nope. It's like working at the moment. And there it goes, right. Like as soon as I said something, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go for it, right, and then it's like, you sir are not going any further than where where you're at right now. Yeah, like I'm afraid to keep going with this. It's insane.
What I'm about
You're gonna behave now? Like I'm really afraid to keep going with this. Like if it's gonna keep having an issue here. Wait, it do. Right. All right. It looks like it seems to be going a little bit better here. Nope. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to stream. There is no way that I'm going to be able to. It's just not letting my OBS stay connected to YouTube. And it ain't on my side. I guarantee you this is not on my side. Like I barely got any CPU usage off of my computer right now from all of this. Like I'm not even using like 12% of my CPU right now. There's no reason for this. Ah! Fuck it. We're gonna go for it. Money on Windows update. Yeah, exactly. I just did a Windows update. It just forced me to do a Windows update. As soon as I went live the first time. Remember, this is the third attempt to do this. First time I went live, it glitched out, and when I went to go restart my computer, it updated. Hoping it is. All right, guys. So now let's see if we can go on with the show here. All right. So, it's like I don't know if you guys have been paying attention in any way, shape, or form with the whole Binance saga now. Since FTX's explosion, you have Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, blaming Binance for the FTX exploding because they sold off their FTT token. They did not like the direction of where that coin was, and they were like, they got it off their balance sheets. And because they got it off they got bad money off their balance sheets. Now everybody that was stuck as a bag holder for that bad money is now trying to blame CZ for this. So now we have, other attack vectors coming right on in on Binance. Now, my thoughts is to never leave your crypto on the exchange. Learn how to take self-sovereignty. If you're, there are good places that will sit there and tell you, to other exchange operators, don't leave your coins with us, just keep it here, keep here what you are actively trading. That's a better framing of mind on that, right? Versus thinking that 99% of the people who self-custody their crypto will lose it. I don't really buy all of that. And that's what CZ believes, is that he believes that everybody has an issue with, with holding on to their own crypto without losing it. In other words, you're not smart enough to be able to be self-sovereign over your own financial future. It's like, and now there's people who are, basically questioning, CZ. And to a point, he sat there and said, sure, withdraw whatever you want. Come test us. Let's go. As simple as that. There should be no, reason for verbal gymnastics around all of this. Glassnode Analytics estimates that Binance does have over 600,000 Bitcoins, and near their highs in terms of their historical numbers, which is contrast to FTX, which visibility drew down its Bitcoin balance starting in the spring of 2020. But given how many different altcoins they handle and the leverage they provide to traders and the overall complexities they have, the fact that the CEO talks like that begs the question, not trying to spread FUD, but do be careful with and consider self-custody. And I'll go into this little what it was that CZ got interviewed here. And there is an unedited version that I was able to find, and let's kind of dig into this, guys.
Credibility and integrity in this space, and I want to talk about FTX in a moment, but I want to start with what's happening at your own firm, given the outflows this week. I saw that you said on an AMA, this is one of these Ask Me Anything, you said there's no amount of withdrawals that would put us under any pressure. But that, I think, is a very bold statement to be making. How are people and why should people trust that their money is safe at this point?
So I think thanks, Andrew, for having me. And the well-run crypto exchanges should hold user assets one-to-one. So user deposit Bitcoin, we hold it in Bitcoin, we move to a cold wallet, we keep some in the hot wallet. And people, they sell it, now the Bitcoin belongs to somebody else, but we still hold it in the cold storage. People can withdraw 100% of the assets they have on Binance. We will not have an issue in any given day. So 100% of the users withdraw 100% of the assets, we'll be fine. This is very different for traditional financial people to understand, because banks run on fractional reserves. And the traditional regulators, many of them may think that it's okay for crypto businesses to be running on fractional reserves. That is not okay. In crypto, there's
So that there was a kind of like a direct poke right at Sam Bankman-Fried. He was kind of operating it like a bank would, with like fractional reserves. He had just enough on hand to allow some people to do their exchanges, but they would have to shut down if there was, quote unquote, a bank run. They would have to halt it. Because they never had the funds on hand, where CZ here is trying to say that he has everything as a one-to-one. Fuck the fiat valuing on there. The coins are one-to-one is what he's trying to say here.
There's no central bank printing money to bail out banks when there's a liquidity crunch. So crypto businesses have to hold user assets one-to-one, and that's what we do. It's very simple.
Okay, but let me ask you about that specifically, and I don't want to get too technical, but indulge me for a moment. When you had what seemed to be liquidity issues around customers wanting USDC, it looked, at least from this vantage point, that what was happening here could have been avoided if, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, you allowed customers to deposit and hold USDC instead of what it looked like was that you auto-converted them into your own exchange dollar. Am I wrong?
There's a minor corrections. So number one is we do the auto conversion into BUSD, which is not issued by us, which is not the exchange dollar. It's actually issued by a New York DYF licensed entity, Paxos. So the reserves are in New York. It's a stable coin. The problem we had before is we have many different types of stable coins on Binance. And Bitcoin trades against USDC, Bitcoin trades against BUSD, and the USDT, there's TUSD, there's a bunch of other things. And then it's very difficult for users to find the best price. So we said, okay, they're all stable coins and they should convert 1-to-1. So let's combine all of them into one, so that the users just go to, they want to buy Bitcoin, they go to.
And if you guys don't know where the FUD was, it is over this stable coin, right? So this stable coin was basically he'll explain it a little bit here too, where because they are issued from another company and they have to have the reserve assets in the bank, right? So basically you can only get USDT, all these stable tokens. You have to wait for banking hours. So if banking hours and crypto hours are two different things. Banks are only open from 9 to 5 type of deal, right? So with that mindset that it's a 9 to 5 type of thing, that we are now going to be looking down. If they don't hold enough on hand of these stable tokens for people to want to purchase into, then they have to wait until the bank opens up to get new issuance. And this is what they're about to harp on him over.
The Bitcoin BUSD, and they find it. On the deposit and withdrawal, we do the conversion. We have channels to convert them 1-to-1, but the channels we have actually have to go through a bank, because to convert from BUSD to USDC, we have to sell BUSD into US dollars, cash in a bank, move it to a different bank account, and then buy USDC at a different institution. So that day, we had more users trying to buy or trying to deposit BUSD and withdrawing USDC, and we ran out of that. And the bank that does the conversion doesn't open until 6 hours later, and that's a bank in New York. So we were actually blocked. This issue was actually caused by a bank. So that's what. And stablecoin is the only one we convert. Every other asset, people deposit Bitcoin, we hold Bitcoin. People deposit Ethereum, we hold Ethereum.
Right. And you understand why I'm asking that question, because it does appear in that instance, at least, that when you said no amount of withdrawals would put you under pressure, by default it put you under pressure. Now, whether it was you're doing or some other bank's doing. And so the question is, longer term, would you reevaluate how you do that?
So we have the assets to convert. So there's no margin, no leverage. We just needed the bank to open. So the bank opened 6 hours later, it was fine. So banks don't work for 24 hours a day. Banks only work for a few hours a day. And when you try to, and when banks are shut down, when banks are closed, you try to withdraw money, it doesn't work. That's exactly the same situation that happened. And we allowed people to withdraw other stable coins onto other platforms to do conversion if they want. So there was not a liquidity issue. It was just, there was a conversion issue that was going through the bank.
In terms of the credibility of Binance, you disclosed that Binance holds about $60 billion of crypto assets. But thus far, you haven't disclosed your liabilities. And I wonder why that is and whether you will.
Yeah, so we are working with firms to do the audit the financials, liabilities, etc. Very simply, Binance does not owe people money. Binance does not have loans from other companies, from other funds. We just don't have it. You can ask any fund in the ecosystem. You can ask any VC. We actually also do not have VC investments, so we don't owe anybody any money. And we also do not have loans to other people that we depend on for our next payroll. So we are very simple, very
So if you guys didn't catch that right there, basically he's sitting there saying that it was a banking issue that they had to lock up on the stable token conversion, and he allowed it into other stable tokens until 6 hours later, and then he's basically going through and explaining that he doesn't owe anybody nothing. All the profits that come into Binance are Binance's profits. It's not because if you have a VC, they're going to take a cut of your profits. You have a loan, that's a cut of your profits, right? That's your bottom dollar. So they don't have much overhead except for payroll, a building, servers, coders, they're, normal stuff that you would see a business. Now, I don't know how big his company is, with employee wise. If he's, kind of like how Twitter was with 7,000 employees that that 90% of them were useless. That's basically how Twitter was becoming unprofitable, is that they had everybody sitting there getting hired in for nap time and paying them top dollar for nap time. But that's a whole different question, a whole different set of conversations with that. But with CZ here, he's considering that he doesn't owe any money. It makes him like at least he's at least debt neutral. So if you don't owe anybody, then it's like you just owe the bills you owe. That's it. So I don't know how close his margins are to his profit margins compared to his expense, the company expenses outright, right? And he sat there and has invested in other companies. And what he was also stating there was that he's not dependent on those other companies to pay the loans back in order for CZ to be able to continue Binance, right? Is basically what he's trying to sit here and say. He's already made the comments, he's already publicly stated that he wants to sit there and show proof of reserves and all of this stuff. But there are little issues here and there that have arose from this, and I will get to that in just a second here.
Self-contained type of organization, and we manage our cash very simply. So that's very, very different from the FTX situation, where so people who were hurt by FTX are now worried about everybody else, and they were defending FTX before. That's why they have money on FTX. So, but just because they're bitten by one snake doesn't mean that every other animal is the same.
So yeah, and let me pull up the other spot on this.
We want to be transparent. We want to set the golden standard for reliability, solidness in this space.
So do it. Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
Including you have $2.1 billion to give away. If somebody came to claw that back, you'd still be fine?
We'll let the lawyers handle it. We are financially strong. Even after the FTT price dropped over the last year, we still have $500 million worth of it, $580 million worth of it on the day when we transferred from the address we received a year and a half ago. We never touched it. We actually kind of forgot about it.
But thus far, you haven't disclosed your liabilities. And I wonder why that is and whether you will.
Yeah, so we are working with firms to do the audited financials, liabilities, etc. But the audits don't reveal every problem. So,
no, but an audit from a Big Four auditor would reveal that, CZ. If you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval?
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really when they audit.
See the face she just made?
Coinbase has a Big Four. Coinbase has a Big Four auditor.
Actually, I don't look at Coinbase. We don't really look at.
I think so, though.
I don't know the details.
So they understand it well enough.
Deloitte is the auditor for Coinbase.
So they can figure.
They do have some experience. Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay?
So yeah, right there, Coinbase has been audited. Binance hasn't, but I think some of the reasons why the Big Four do not want to touch Binance is because they're broke out into different countries, and they have I think they're in Malta. They're based out of Malta now, which is one of those tax haven areas. So you're not going to see any one of the Big Four really wanting to touch them. Yes, they'll mess with it if it's a U.S. company, but this is outside the United States. They're in Malta. If they want one of the big fours to really touch them, they got to get into a country basically that's going to allow for regulatory bodies to have oversight over what Binance is doing. And because Binance went to a tax safe haven to avoid taxes on the Binance company itself, because they got taxed right out of China, and CZ did not like the idea of that, so he uprooted the company to avoid taxes and taxation and regulatory oversight, because he wanted to be able to list every shitcoin on the market. Unfortunately, this has ramifications of now he's in a country that no credible company is. Yeah, he's got China implications on there, but it's the fact that he's in Malta and he has a bunch of stuff that's listed on there that you can't prove value. So that's the problem. So, it's like, it's easy to have somebody sit there and go through the books and look at the amount of users, add up all the coins in each one of the coin categories, right? Just categorize it. Here's Bitcoin, here's Ethereum, here's Cardano, here's fucking this, that, blah, 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 all the way down the line, right? And go, okay, we have all of these coins here. What do you got in your wallets? All of them. And you're basically just counting it up for a 1-to-1. I don't think an audit like that from any company should be really hard to do, unless they're not wanting to come. They don't have any jurisdiction in that country, or they just don't want to get involved with a company that's in basically a pirate island for people trying to avoid taxes. I mean, that's basically what Malta really is. You start up a business in Malta so that you can offshore money, and that's basically what CZ's done. And it's because of that, he will not be able to get any kind of a reputable auditor to come stepping in and saying, yes, it's there, we're good, green light. And the other thing that's really worrisome, so let's say there was one person that had all the coin, and he said, that person said, yeah, I think I'm gonna withdraw it, $2.1 billion. I'm gonna get my lawyers involved. I'm sorry, excuse me, but that should have been, sure, let them. We just won't have any Bitcoin on the exchange for a little bit. If they have $2.1 billion in assets on their books, and somebody went to go claim it, shouldn't be asking for a lawyer. You should be just giving it up. That is the wrong answer. So, me personally, I say always have self-custody of your crypto. But when they say something like that, that makes me lose a little bit of confidence, going, oh, so if there's a big enough of a bank run, you're going to have to get the lawyers involved. That's not confidence. And you can see the woman's face every time he said that. It's like, yeah, I'll just get my lawyers involved with that if they want to get that, but we can certainly handle that. And you just see her just kind of roll her eyes. It's just like, oh my Lord, he just said that on TV. And then he gets called out immediately on I can't get audited by the Big Four. And it's like, well, Coinbase did. What's your problem? I'm sure people, any auditor, that their job is to count stuff. You give them their clients list. You don't need to know their names, anything. You just need to know the holding in each account. How much is in each account? Okay, let these guys count that all up. Give it to them in raw data. They count all that up, and then they go to your wallets. Each one of them, hot storage, cold storage, whatever. However you've got it set up, and then let them add that all up against every coin that they got. It'll take them a little while, but I'm sure you give them raw data, that they can verify, anybody with a simple math, that knows how to add and subtract could easily figure this out. And if their whole job is to add shit up, I bet you they do it really good. And they don't need to understand what Cardano is. They don't need to know Cardano is a shitcoin and not to touch it. They just need to know, okay, there's fucking 1 billion of them here, and the customers all together, they got 1 billion of them over here. We got a 1-to-1. We're good to go, right? That's all anybody fucking needs to know. These auditors don't need to know how crypto works. These auditors don't need to know how fucking, what's a shitcoin and that Bitcoin's king. They don't need to know any of that. Like blackjack, X-ray, blackjack. This is MC Actual. Radio check, radio check. We have a radio check. Too funny, MC. It's like, so, it's like people need to realize that you should never trust the exchanges, period. A good exchange is going to tell you to, only put the coin on the exchange when it's necessary, because it's an on-ramp and an off-ramp. There are many, many vulnerabilities because of how they've got to connect everything into the exchange. There are many vulnerabilities. They can try to have the most secure system on the planet, and every so often, shit happens. There's somebody that figures it out, and breaks their code. Unfortunately, this will cost people money the more that they try to keep their crypto with, third party, intermediaries. It's like if you're going to leave your Bitcoin on the exchange, and that you don't have any of your own stuff in cold storage, you don't have a hot storage, any of that stuff, then it's like you got to kind of understand why you're in Bitcoin to begin with. If you are trusting your entire savings over onto an exchange, I know all of you guys you've been hearing me, for the last few years, just ranting and raving, going, never leave your coin on the exchange. If I've got to send my coin to the exchange to cash it out so that I can pay some bills, man, during that whole time, that whole 15 minutes, man, I'm having a heart attack. I'm like pacing around, going, oh my God, it's not going to get there. I just lost my Bitcoin. Oh, it's gone. And then it shows up and I'm like, oh, thank God. Move. You're like a trained SEAL team. Bop, 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 bop. Boom, done, right? And get the fuck off of there. That is me on an exchange, guys. That is 100% me on an exchange. So, I mean, what CZ is saying here, in one hand, it's like, okay, do we take him at face value that he has all the coin? Or do we take him at the hidden verbiage behind everything that he's saying, and that, he's kind of going down that route of tipping his hands that he may not have enough to cover everybody. But, again, according to Glassnode shows that they have over 600,000 Bitcoins in holdings. So, and then you compare that, to what FTX had, balances on Binance, they're way the hell up there. So in one hand, I kind of trust them, I can trust them for at least, 20, 30 minutes. So if you're going to be on Binance and you're doing like some of their trading or whatever you're doing on there, only put a little bit on there, play with it, and get the hell out of there. Do not leave your shit there. There's no protections if Binance goes down. And a lot of this FUD came around because of the stable tokens. They halted trade of stable tokens for 6 hours because, like he was saying, that they were waiting for the banks to get open. Now, I would assume that at this point that Binance has got, hopefully one of the better ones, and is, understand that they want to be here for the long term. But to see, Binance in the earlier days moving around like crazy because of regulations from China, taxations, tax implications on them that were much higher than the company could afford, because China was taxing the bejeebus out of cryptocurrencies, almost to the point where they were putting Binance on the life support from the way that CZ was talking about it at that point. Exactly, Tiger. Never trust an exchange. Always keep your crypto in cold storage. Now, I don't say you have to keep all your crypto in cold storage. Like my phone here. I've got this is the Samsung Galaxy S10, and this has got a Bitcoin, has a cryptocurrency wallet built in there. It's a separate memory chip that has special program to access into this, right? It's the reason why I got the phone. So allows me to do quick transactions right there. It's not Lightning Network, unfortunately, but it is a mobile cold storage. I got the phone so I can check it out, right? I checked it out. I never really used it, because I've got, other, it's like I typically don't roll around with my with crypto on hand. If I need to, I've got other ways that I can do it. This way I can have my cash my crypto be a little bit more liquid, and use like something like Cash App, or wherever you can sit there and do payment rails to buy stuff outside of Bitcoin, but you can have Bitcoin on there that you can convert easily. Stuff like that I will personally use, but again, I'm not everything else. I've got it split up through multiple wallets. Nothing's in one spot. So, it's like, good luck. You ain't attacking every vector in me. And then like the computer that I'm on here, 0 Bitcoin, 0 crypto on. There is no crypto on this PC in any way, shape, or form. So that's one thing I do like about that. It's like I've got, hell, I've even got an air-gapped fucking laptop here with with a Bitcoin full node on it. So, good God, I had leg day this morning. Oh man, my legs are still kind of killing me. At the end of the day, I would sit there and tell people and never leave your stuff on the exchange. That's always just bottom line. If people would have listened to that one, they would not have gotten in any jam with FTX. They would not have any issue with any of the other companies that had anything to do with FTX. So guys, stay frosty out there. Don't leave your coin anywhere. If any place is offering you returns on your crypto, take a look at the product, because if they're not sitting there and selling a product or a service, there's no way to generate money outside of gambling. So stay away from anything that's giving out yields, and you'll be in a lot better of a position. That's not financial advice. This is just security advice from a security standpoint. If they are talking about yields of any sort, they have to generate it somehow. And from a security standpoint, if they don't have a service or a product, that's a security risk. You're risking the security of your crypto. Not worth it. Not worth it in any way, shape, or form, guys. So thank God my stream's now working great. Stop glitching out on me. That's awesome. So anybody got any comments or questions before I head up out of here, guys? Any questions at all, guys? I appreciate everybody being here. Definitely smash that Lizzie like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. if you guys are, if any of you guys are into mining and you're considering turning your rigs off, you might want to look into the Family Mine LLC. Mikkel is setting up a website for this. We just got contracts back from the lawyer. I've got to look over that a little bit here, make sure that the contracts for hosting all of your guys' awesome gear is set up properly. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is trying to get a transformer in there with some more fuse panels. And let's go, dude. Right? Let's do this. And I want to get as many. I want to get more. Like if I can get a couple of more panels in there right now, that would be mega helpful at this point. So we shall see what I can do with all of that. Let's see here. So if you guys are looking to have any of your, like I said, if you guys are looking to have any of your gear hosted and you want to, you're going to have your gear hosted with us, you might as well join into the Patreon. Links down below, guys. Get into the pseudo hasher tier. It gets you VIP access to making sure you have a guaranteed slot on the shelf. Because once I get to a point where I can finally open up the doors to the public, that space is going to go fill up quick. And that's what I'm counting on, guys. So with that moving forward, guys, thank you everybody for being here. Definitely smash that Lizzie like button, all that good stuff. Peace out, stay savage, and may your watts be low and your hash be high. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo!